Welcome back. So today we are in SAM.gov, and something different we're doing today is we're going to be showcasing more of the power of AI and more specifically ChatGPT in terms of how it can help you read through solicitations, extract the really important information inside of your solicitations, help you tee up proposals, and we will also be doing some pricing related queries. So with that being said, we do have a paper shredding contract, and I'll be zooming in so you can see this a little bit better. This is due September 12th with the Air Force. This is total small business set aside, and they are using the 561990 all other support services NAICS code. Something to keep in mind for paper shredding for this requirement. We also see they're using the product and service code for support administrative : paper shredding. So they actually do have a R614 PSC code. We don't always talk about PSC codes, but if you don't know what that is, it's a more specific version, if you will, of a NAICS code. They serve different purposes, but they are very similar in nature. So scrolling down, we have the listing description here, and it's letting us know this requirement is to provide on-site shredding services for the Erling Berquist Clinic at Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska. The contractor shall provide all personnel, labor, supervision, management, transportation, and any items and services necessary to perform paper shredding. Now I do have ChatGPT here sitting in the wing, and as we kind of go through this, we can see there's only 3 different attachments, and we'll finish off the listing description here. We will start to engage and use, again, the AI here. They do tell us that the period of performance is 1 October, so that is in just under a month from the recording of this video, and they're saying that's going to go through 31 March 2031. So they're saying with 5 additional option periods. I'm not sure what the 5 in parentheses is. We'll keep an eye out for that when we read more through it. Other than that, though, we have Q&A due date, offer due date, and then we have contracting's POC, Colin Myers and Janiyah Brown. So in terms of our attachments, like I said, we have 3. We have a solicitation, we have a wage determination, and we do have a statement of work in terms of paper shredding. Now at this point, I would usually start opening these, at least in these videos, I would open these and start walking you through them. In today's video, in today's training, what I want to do a little bit differently is to actually start coming up with questions, and then we're going to upload the document straight to ChatGPT, and we're going to let ChatGPT, and we're going to assess how well the AI is able to answer our questions. So for example, I will select on the solicitation in order to download that. So that'll be in my downloads. Then I'll jump over to ChatGPT and I'm going to upload that. So in this new chat, and again, we're using ChatGPT 5, right? So we're using the latest and greatest version of ChatGPT compared to previous trainings that were a little bit older. So we have the solicitation uploaded, the whole thing. And now, what are some good questions? Because we haven't even looked at this, right? So one of the first things that we can consider is, can you please provide a brief summary synopsis, no more than 1 page, we'll say, of this requirement, as I'm considering potentially bidding on it. Highlight the key information that I, as a prospective bidder, would want to consider, and any significant information that jumps out to you for me to consider. Okay, I'm speaking maybe a little bit technical here. Okay, so it says, here's a concise bidder-focused synopsis. So the U.S. Air Force seeks a contractor to provide on-site paper shredding. Services include secure handling and destruction of paper waste in compliance with DoD. They're letting us know the period performance, 100% small business set aside, labor standards for SCA wage determination. They're telling us what the quotes must include, so this is helpful. Price quotation. Also, technical approach, you're saying, is up to 6 pages explaining the ability to meet the performance of work statement requirements, and you must be registered in SAM. For evaluation criteria, this is really important. They're telling us the total evaluated price, the TEP, is base plus all options, and then the technical capability must demonstrate ability to meet all PWS requirements. Evaluation is LPTA. Offers deemed technically acceptable will be ranked by price. And then it just gives us some of the submission and deadline information and key considerations for bidders. This is a long-term opportunity. Again, requires compliance with base access, badges, CAP cards, security protocol. Invoicing is through WOF. SEA wage, sick leave, pay time off must be factored into your pricing, because we did see that as part of this as well. And then the evaluation is weighted towards price competitiveness. So being efficient with cost control is going to be critical to win this. So, I mean, holy smoke, guys. Like, that's even faster than what I could do or show you in many previous trainings. And I do want to look at this because I do want to actually, quickly compare. But like I said, today we are showcasing AI for this opportunity. And you can literally, if you're not, start saving a lot of time and being more efficient with your offers by putting the AI to work for you and using it as your competitive advantage, while other bidders are still really not keen on using it too much or to its fullest extent. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg, guys. So here, working backwards, we do have a delivery table. So they're lining up with the pricing plan, it looks like, delivering from 1 October to 30 September of next year. Quantity is 12 months. And then we do have our address and our likely POC with our core, our contracting officer representative. And that's going to repeat for base plus 5 option periods. So in the listing description, remember, it said 4-5 right here, 4-5. It's actually just 5 additional option periods that we are confirming here with the delivery schedule. And we also have a pricing schedule here where they're wanting us to price per unit. So the unit in this instance would be months, so 1 month. And then the total amount would be the unit price times the total quantity. So the monthly price times 12, pretty simple math, equals your total amount for that base year paper shredding pricing clin. And then you'll repeat that for the subsequent 5 option year periods as well. So now as we make our way up, they're doing this a little bit backwards. Now above this, we're actually seeing the instruction to offerors. So comparing what the AI told us, remember it was LPTA, emphasis on price, but there is a technical approach up to 6 pages. Now we're at instruction to offerors. This is where it would have pulled that information from. So let's see what it's telling us here. To ensure timely and equitable evaluation, the offeror must follow these instructions. 1, you must be registered in SAM, and then the offeror's response shall also consist of price and technical. So far, we're right on the money. For the price now, the offeror is required to submit 1 copy. The offeror must completely list each item listed in the PWS and the associated price per item, including delivery. That's a little weird to me. Offeror shall provide pricing for the entirety of the project, to include but not limited to purchase of supplies and assists. Pricing for install and uninstall is not required. We're talking about paper shredding. So I'm not sure if they're mixing something up here, or maybe I'm just not that knowledgeable about the statement of work. I'm not sure what we're installing and uninstalling. I know they're looking for on-site, and that's something that we would see. They did call it out here, on-site paper shredding. So perhaps the equipment that's going to be shredding the documents, we could certainly review the statement of work because we haven't gotten to do that yet. And this might be a good time to just check and see if we can find anything for the word install. So that does not pertain. They're just talking about the government and security installation and regulations, but we're not seeing the word install anywhere in the statement of work. I'm going to take a peek at the evaluation here to see if we can get any more clarification. The quotes will be ranked according to their total evaluated price. The offeror's price quote will be evaluated using 1 or more of the following procedures per the FAR. For a price to be reasonable, so it's not really telling us anything specific about price being rated. Like they're saying here, you must literally list each item listed in the statement of work. So I do take issue with that. At this point, we do need an RFI clarification, request for information from contracting, because that is not consistent with what they've asked for in the pricing table. To me, I think that's a boilerplate templated thing that maybe they've even forgotten is in here. The only other instance could be that I can think of is that they want you to fill out the pricing table and they want you to write something like a pricing narrative that's going to literally price out each item. But again, this is not an item-based contract. This is paper shredding, so I feel like this does not belong. This is why we need clarification. Aside from this, looking at the technical approach, it does say offers are required to submit no more than 6 pages. So the AI did capture that technical approach up to 6 pages. And again, the technical evaluation sheet shall list out all the relevant technical aspects in accordance with the statement of need. The offer shall demonstrate in accordance with PWS that they can meet all required technical aspects of the contract, but nothing more specific than that. Just let us explain how you will meet the requirements in the statement of work. Don't just simply parrot back that you will meet the requirements within the statement of work. So now I also want to upload the statement of work so that ChatGPT has all the information, because now we're going to tee up pricing. And now that I'm uploading this statement of work, I'm just going to say, please include this information in your synopsis as well. And with that, we do see this being beefed up a little bit more with a bit more details. So for example, now we're seeing scheduled pickups are twice a month on the first and third Tuesdays. Rescheduled if on a holiday. We're seeing operational hours is from 7:30 to 16:30. Pickup sites are going to include the main clinic, satellite pharmacy bins, and environmental engineering bin. And within the main clinic, it looks like it's going to be the primary, because that's 39 bins, 64 gallon each. And it does tell us on-site destruction is required. Documents must be shredded into small, unrecoverable pieces. Strip cut not allowed, arguably because you could piece those strips back together. So entire documents must never leave the facility, and the contractor is responsible for cleanup after the shredding, recycling of shredded paper preferred. For performance standards from the statement of work, 100% compliance with the scheduled pickups is required. Contractor must maintain a contingency plan if there are absences for your workers. Customer complaints, validated complaints must be corrected within 1 business day. Repeated deficiencies may trigger contract remedies, and manpower reporting is required annually through the Air Force CMRA Contract Manpower Reporting Portal. So now we do have a bit of a more beefed up and more specific, not too much, but some synopsis and summary from our documents. Now with that being said, I want to tee up pricing, and to get started with pricing, I'm going to also upload the wage determination. And to get started, I'm going to say, please identify the appropriate occupation code labor category per this WD. And then I'm going to upload that. So it's saying, based on the statement of work for the paper shredding requirement and the wage determination, the most appropriate labor category is going to be occupation code 99730, refuse collector. And I'm actually just going to double check to make sure that is a thing. And they're actually attaching that as a notes document, which is hilarious to me. I will find, so refuse collector 99730 at $22.40 per hour for the bare minimum pay range. And then we're also going to have the fringe benefits like health and welfare, vacation, and holidays. So we do confirm and see that that is properly identified. I'm not going to go through and consider other occupation codes, although you should, and absolutely we could, but because I'm featuring more of the power with emphasis on AI in today's training, we're not going to do that. We're going to rely a little bit more on the AI. So they did give us a rationale here for picking this wage. So the work requires contractor personnel to pick up, transport, and destroy bins of sensitive documents on site. Employees are responsible for handling waste materials, quote unquote documents, operating shredding equipment, and ensuring secure disposal. And they're saying this closely matches refuse collector duties. Now they are also proposing an alternate for messenger courier at $16.21 per hour, which you may actually want to consider if you want to be price competitive on this. But they also have the driver courier at $19.81 and recycling laborer at $24.40 and a recycling specialist, which again, we would have to verify these. Sometimes it gets it wrong, but these $28.19 per hour is probably going to be a little bit too high. They are reiterating that the refuse collector is going to be the best fit. So now it's actually just teeing us up for more pricing. Do you want me to also run the base build-up price with wages, health and welfare, holidays, payroll tax, overhead, profit, so you have a realistic hourly and annual cost baseline for your bid? I'm going to say yes, absolutely. And also price this out to include all the option years requested in the solicitation as well. I'm not going to tell it how many option years. I want to see if it can get it right. So they've given us an estimated contract pricing table here with just numbers. And I'm actually not feeling great about this. I need to see this more broken down, I would say. It says I built a pricing estimate. I don't really see any sort of pricing escalation, but then there's a 6-month extension. Okay, that's fine. Then the grand total is $469,000. I just don't like this format. And it's saying, would you like me to break down the price per hour? Yes, can you break this down into an hourly rate for all years, and don't forget to include annual escalation to account for inflation, etc. So now it's giving me another table, and I don't know, the tables like this, they kind of just make me a little anxious. Please do not provide in this table format. Instead, please break out so we can see all the pricing factors being considered for each option period and a base year. Also include total price and hourly fully burdened wages. Okay, great. So they're giving us more of a narrative style, it's saying. And this way we can actually see everything that's being broken out and considered. So we have the base wage for the occupation code. We have the health and welfare, vacation, holidays. So that plus fringe is $29.84. Once you add overhead, 10% profit, we are getting a fully burdened hourly rate of $41.02 per hour, or an annual price of $85,328. Now they are giving us a 3% escalation, so we go from 85 to 87 for the first option period, to 89 to 91 to 94, and then they're giving us 47 for a 6-month option. I need to go back. I don't recall this being 6 months. I thought it was a full year, but we looked at it very quickly, so I could definitely be incorrect about that. But I want to make sure that the AI is not missing something with the 6-month extension. Okay, so yes, just confirming the AI is right. This is a 6-month service extension. So in case, for example, the contract is still being procured for the new contract renewal, they could keep you on and execute this for another 6 months until they can get the new award pushed out, whether that's going to come back to you or go to another company. This way there's not a disruption in services, because they really can't go without paper shredding for 6 months or 3 months or whatever that interim period could be. So that is probably what the 6-month possible service extension would be for. So the AI was correct. So the grand total for up to 5.5 years is $494,100, with the average fully burdened hourly rate being $43.45 per hour. So we're really playing with the AI today, and it says, next, do you want me to also build this out into a proposal-ready pricing schedule? Sure, why not? I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I'm not sure what it has in mind. Let's see what it comes up. So this perhaps is something that you could use in your proposals. You certainly are going to still have to fill out the pricing tables to be compliant. But if you wanted to include this as a part of your pricing narrative, pricing breakdown, you certainly could, because I think it very much highlights the important information that the contracting officer would want and need to see, and it could be a great complement to your pricing table. So now I will also point out this is above simplified acquisition. It's almost double simplified acquisition. I'm not sure if there is incumbent on this. If there's an existing contract in place already, there very well could be. But because this is above the simplified acquisition threshold, you're definitely going to want to be trying to work with a similarly situated entity for a teaming partner if you're going to be going that route, or if you're wanting to self-perform. Again, this is, these are warm bodies, right? This is one full-time equivalent working for the next, 5.5 years perhaps. So this is going to be on-site the way that this is priced out. We would want to double check to make sure that's what contracting meant by on-site, but perhaps we could just hire a person ourselves. And if that's the case, these numbers are likely going to be quite accurate, because they're probably also priced for the county, of course, and the area for the wage determination that we gave the AI. But if you're going to be doing teaming, those prices are going to be even higher because you're going to have to account for another link in the chain. So depending on which option, which strategy you're wanting to approach this contract or other contracts like this, those are some things that you also want to consider. Now, if you want additional training, I do have my training right now, Win Contracts Fast Without Wasting Time and Money. You can literally jump in over the next couple minutes here, and I will have the link for this down below. It's around 35 minute training that will show you what you should focus on if you are just getting started in government contracting, and also the common pitfalls that you really need to avoid. It's going to cost you a lot of time, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and it's going to be a huge distraction for you. I'm all about transparency and bringing you the truth in contracting that others won't tell you, and that's something that I've really boiled it down into this training, Win Contracts Fast Without Wasting Time and Money. Again, it's totally free, and so if you are watching videos here on YouTube right now and you haven't gone through the training, you'll definitely want to check that out so you can get started and get your game plan going for the next 12 months and beyond, and start doing the things that are really going to matter to start bidding and winning contracts for your business in the federal space. I'm also currently running our 90-day bid challenge. If you want me to support you, I'm responding to your next 10 contracts. You want to do those together. You know that accountability and support is going to mean everything for you making the progress that you know you really want to make, and it's what you need. Definitely consider checking that out for when we open our next cohort coming up pretty soon, so that you can save your seat for that if that's something that you're wanting that level of support and help with for bidding on your next 10 contracts. And it's something that we're very, very excited to be offering nowadays. And we just kicked off our current cohort just a couple of weeks ago, and things are already getting very exciting in there. So if you want this for your future, definitely keep an eye out. I'll have the information down there for this below. You can also just check out GovKidMethod.com/90-day challenge, or just click on the tab on my website. Other than that, guys, I've got my book that you could get if you don't have it yet, The Legal Middleman Method. You can devour this book in just a couple of days. All of these orders are shipped out myself personally. We don't use a shipper. This is not on Amazon. Everything goes directly through me. That way we can maintain quality and timeliness in shipping. And if you are also needing other services, we have our host of Team Suite services listed on my website. So if you're needing proposal writing, capture management, funding, factoring, cybersecurity, accounting, even AI, bidding and proposal software, we have all this information on my website, govkidmethod.com/services. But for now, if you haven't yet, I really recommend the next step for you going through my free training, Win Contracts Fast Without Wasting Time and Money. And I hope you got something really exciting out of today's training, with a special emphasis with ChatGPT and AI. If you did, definitely smash the like button. And if you are just now finding me in YouTube University and you like my transparent and bold approach, definitely consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out on the future trainings, so that you can get your daily dose, because we are pushing out videos daily every morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. We are premiering those videos, and you can come hang out with me during the premiere again every morning if you're wanting your daily dose of government contracting. So if you have any questions, definitely drop those down below in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, guys, you got this.